In this session of Inkworks, I swatched and mixed the coolest yellows in my watercolor collection. This was in response to a viewer request, and I was happy to get to know these paints better. Since I don't have 20 yellows to choose from, that means a couple of these might be considered warmish. While going through what I have, I realized most of my yellows are warm, so I included M. Graham's Hansa Yellow Deep and Azo Yellow in this grouping. They seem closer to these cooler yellows than to those that are much warmer, such as New Gamboge, Aralide, and Quinacridone Gold. And actually, M. Graham's Hansa Yellow Deep is not as warm as every other Hansa Yellow Deep I've seen. Daniel Smith's Hansa Yellow Light. This sort of shade makes me think of spring and daffodils. A daffodil, also known as narcissus, was the first flower I was ever given. It was from a classmate in third grade. No, we didn't become a couple. I mostly ignored him until the following year he kissed my cheek and I slapped him. It was literally in front of the entire class because I was at the teacher's desk at the time. Yeah, that put a stop to the flowers. What was I talking about? Daffodils. They are grown in this region, so my county has an annual daffodil festival, complete with a parade, a queen, and a royal court. Good thing we call them daffodils around here, because I don't know if anyone would want to be named Queen of the Narcissuses. Da Vinci's Hansa Yellow light appears nearly identical to Daniel Smith's, and of course, it's cheaper. Just saying. Yellow is another one of those food association colors: bananas, lemons, peppers, pineapples. But what comes to mind most strongly is a scene from Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House, the one where Mrs. Blandings describes her paint color choices. I think we watercolorists can relate to wanting just the right shade, as others humor us while inwardly rolling their eyes, like the architect did when the Blandings drew all over his floor plans. Hey, you gotta give it to people who know exactly what they want. It being either respect or a kick in the Azo. Your choice. Holbein's Permanent Yellow Lemon. I almost didn't include this one, and there are a couple of reasons for that. Reason number one, this is the only multi-pigment paint in this grouping. In my previous swatching video, I mistakenly labeled this as having PY74. My apologies for the error. At the time, I was referring to several contradictory charts, but I think I figured it out. Apparently, my set of Holbein paints used their old formula, which was two pigments, PY3 and PY53. I understand the new formula consists of three pigments: PY35, PY74, and PY111. Goodness, I hope that's correct. And that's one reason why I've mostly avoided throwing around pigment numbers. I knew I'd trip up sooner or later. And reason number two, as if having old and new formulas wasn't confusing enough, Holbein has to have a different light fastness rating system too. As you can see there, Permanent Yellow Lemon is given 2 out of 3 stars. I'm going to take that to mean very good, same as the ASTM rating of Roman numeral 2. But is their excellent signified by 1 or 3 stars? What the heck, Holbein? That said, I do like this shade. M. Graham's Hansa Yellow Deep. This may be my most used yellow. I just love it. Like I said before, this one isn't as warm as some other Hansa Yellow Deeps, so I've included it with this cooler grouping. It seems more mid-yellowish to me, similar to Azo Yellow. So it definitely gets a lot of use here. Because of that, it often gets contaminated with some color or other. I'm okay with it, but that sort of thing drives producer Mike nuts. Azo Yellow, also from Mgram, isn't just good for juvenile giggles. I haven't decided which pronunciation is better, Azo or Azo, because both sound equally punnable. It's actually a nice, innocuous, middish shade. I'm just rubbing my hands, anticipating the day I can screw up a daffodil-filled painting and then blame my supplies, just so I can finally say, frickin' Azo. So, looking at them all together, you're either spotting the differences with your color trained eyes or doing the, yeah, they're all yellow eye roll. I get it. I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference until Hansa Yellow Deep and Azo Yellow. But if you're looking for a nice, cool shade, I'd recommend Da Vinci's Hansa Yellow Light. And if light fastness is a concern, all of these in this grouping are rated 2, which is very good, except for Mgram's Azo, which the 12-year-old inside me wants to say is also number 2, but it's actually number 1. And that's excellent. I realize it's been a week since the last upload, so in an effort to get back on track, expect the next two Inkwork sessions later this week. Those will be me talking about a few of my favorite watercolor things and creating a wintry themed painting. I'm happy to share this exploration of my cool and mid yellows. Until next time, be like Mrs. Blandings. Make the second floor twice as large as the first floor, and take pride in your color discerning eyes. Stay artsy, my friends.